Hello and welcome to Brian's Guide Game. I'm Brian, and today Linc has a game called Kokonana. Kokonana is a 2 to 4 player memory game by Josh Cappel and is now published by Kids Table Board Gaming. This is a family game for ages 5 and up and is a fun take on memory. Players are runners, each from a different tribe of the Kona people, and their goal is to be the first to make it across the river and open the lock to the Temple of the Gods. The play area is split into 2 sections and consists of different river tiles. On your turn, you flip over 2 tiles and try to make a match. If you do, you get to move your pawn across the face-up tiles, moving towards the temple. Halfway across, players pick up a key before moving on to the second section. This will determine which lock they are looking for on the other side. Once players get to the temple, they flip over a tile looking for their specific lock. If they find the right one, they win. So let's check it out, and I'll show you how to set up the race, how to get a talisman, and how to be the first and gain favor of the gods in Kokonana. To set up, begin by placing the 3 main tiles. So we've got the starting section there, this is the middle sandbar, and then this is the finishing temple there at the end. Next, place the water tiles in their respective areas. These are the shallow ones. They are lighter in color, and these are the deep ones, which are darker. And they have different objects and things on the other sides. Then lay them out in a 4x5 grid. Make sure you shuffle them up first. Then shuffle the 8 temple tiles, and then place them on above the temple area. Then place the 5 keys on this little sand middle area. Set the talismans in a pile off to the side. Then line up the players on the opposite bank. You are now ready to begin. So, on your turn, the first thing that you do is you move your character. Right now, there are no places for us to move, so we don't. Then the second thing you do is you look at 2 tiles. So you can flip over any 2 tiles. We're going to do this one. Got bananas, and let's do this one. And we have a little shell. I was going to say unicorn horn, but unicorns don't live in the ocean. So we've got a little sandbank with shells and bananas there. So we didn't get a match, so our turn ends. So then it's the next player's turn. You can't move onto water, so they don't get to move. And it's beneficial to flip over tiles that are close to the players. So let's do that one. That is a log. And let's do this one. That is a flamingo. No matches, so let's flip those back over. And we will try again. Next player's turn. Flip over the lily pad. And let's do this one. Those are some upright logs. We've been pretty unlucky so far. Let's take another turn with those logs. And where have we seen those before? Right there. So after you make a match, you can move your character again. If you can't or don't want to, then you can take a talisman. So that player sits there. Alright, it's the next player's turn. We still can't move, so let's try this one. Alright, and that one, that's a rocks and turtle. And next player's turn, we got a lily pad. Where have we seen one of those? And that is right there. So we got a match, so they could either take a talisman or move their character. We're going to move right there. Right. So when moving, you can move orthogonally and diagonally. So you can go forward, sideways, or diagonally also. But you cannot go backwards. And you can only have 2 people on the same tile. So let's say the next person is blue. At the beginning of their turn, they can move, and then they look at 2 things. So we're going to look at this one, and this one. Flamingo and a rock. So then it's the next player's turn, and they can't move onto that tile because there are already 2 people on it. So they must try to find a match. Flamingo, flamingo, and they can move. So then, yellow's turn, they can't move. Then look for a match. Bananas, that's not a banana. And that's the end of their turn. Then it's green again. They can move and then make a match. So you get the idea. After they eventually make it, let's flip a couple of these back over. Where's the other turtle? I don't think we saw it. There we go. So let's say the next player finally makes it to the sandbank. Once you move onto the sandbank, you take a key. It doesn't matter which one, you just take the one that you like, I guess. We're gonna take the bat one. And then they start looking in the deep section, so they can only flip over here, and they can't flip any over here. So then the player's still over here, and still flip these over, and take talismans or move additional times. And once they get here, they also take keys. So let's move almost everybody over there. So let's give a couple more talismans out. Another one there, another one there. And then they can take some keys. All right, so then they are flipping over here. So you can start exact same thing, only different icons. There we go, you flip back over. And it's the exact same thing as over here. Once you reach the other side, that's when you start searching for the lock. Now, the thing about these talismans is that you can spend them during the game to move an extra space. So let's say we moved, I could spend a talisman to move again. So that can keep you in front, so then you don't get bottlenecked behind other people. But if you have a key, then you can't do that. Because they have a key, they can't move. That wouldn't apply to the green player because they haven't made it to the sandbank yet. The other use for the talismans is you can use a talisman to look at one of these. So you take it and look at it, just you, others aren't allowed to see, and then that's what the talisman's for. On your turn, when you're over here, you can't look at things or flip over or move, so you get to choose any lock and flip it over. Only you see it, so you pick it up and look at it. If you have the key that goes to that lock, then you win. Otherwise, you put it back, don't tell anybody what you saw, and then you keep searching. Eventually, other people are going to get over there and get looking, and the first person to find their lock with their key wins the game. There are also some empty ones. That's how to play Kokonana. Okay, I have Linc here, so let's see what Linc thinks. So Linc, what do you think?
I like it. It's good, and I really like that, like, you do matches, like, memory, kind of, and then it's also like a board game because you, like, move pieces.
Yeah, great. So I guess we'll segue right into the components. So in the components, you have the different water tiles and the three other longer tiles where you start, hit the middle, and end. And then there's also the lock tiles and your little wooden pieces for the guys. And then they're all doing funny poses and stuff. Where it's the same pose, but they're all running. It's funny. So the artwork, Linc, do you want to say something about the artwork?
Well, it's just good artwork.
It's good. All right. Sponsored by. So the artwork is nice and fun, cartoony, especially the front of the box, and then it has all the different icons. What is your favorite icon in the game?
I like the catfish.
Oh, that's what I was going to say. Anyway, so you got the catfish and all the bananas and the crab on the log and everything else that are fun to make the matches. So that's pretty much it on artwork. Strategy. What is your go-to strategy?
Well, don't just go straight forward because, like, you're gonna have to flip the tiles to keep going. So, like, kind of, don't stay in the back, though. Like,
Okay.
stay kind of in the middle.
So try to stay in front, but make other people flip the tiles for you?
Or don't stay right in the front. Stay
okay.
right behind the front.
Okay. And then the strategy is a little bit different because if you make a match, you get to move forward. So then you get to move forward at the beginning, then you can flip, and then you can move again. So it helps you to make matches, not just waste turns so other people do stuff for you. Because then you'd just be hanging out the front and bottlenecking everybody else behind you. And it does a really good job of doing that. Also, it has a really good catch-up mechanism. If people are really far ahead and get to the middle, then they have to start on a completely new set of tiles out of their new 4x5 grid of the deep tiles. And then everybody else, their grid eventually gets less and less tiles that there are to match, so then it becomes easier to get matches and make it to the other side. So that helps catch people up. All right, and then you just look for your tile at the end.
Yeah.
So, Linc, would you play this with a friend?
Yeah, I would.
You would?
Uh-huh.
Have you played this with a friend?
Yes, I have.
there we go. Would you say it's easy for kids?
Yeah.
Yep. All right. It's Linc proved. Overall, I had a lot of fun with it. The artwork is fun, the components are nice, and then it has a lot of good little nuances in it that help make the game better, like the catch-up mechanism that I talked about. And it's 5 and up, so it's a pretty basic game, but it's not also just super boring for older players. Anything else you'd like to add?
No.
No? All right. Thanks for watching Brian's Got Game. Please like us on our Facebook page. Send us a tweet at Brian's Got Game. Visit our webpage, briansgotgame.com. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. I'm Brian. This is Linc, and I'll see you next time.